understand the alien deception and who's behind it, you have to understand that signs and symbols rule this world, not rules nor laws. Just taking a look, the supposed UFO, the so-called Phoenix Lights over Arizona. What do you see here? Looks like the so-called Illuminati pyramid, or likely the compass in the Freemason compass and the square. Not a coincidence. This is by design. Going back in time with the very first supposed alien spaceship crash. It just so happens to take place on the 33rd parallel. And out of all the places in the world, of all the locations, it takes place on the 33rd parallel. And it just so happens that the highest degree of Freemasonry in the Scottish Rite is 33. No coincidences, but by design. Showing the connections, how these Freemasons own and control this world, like I've showed many times. I'm just going to show a few examples. Look at Phoenix, Arizona, this past Super Bowl, which is also on the 33rd parallel in Phoenix, Arizona. It just so happens to have a 3:30 start time. People can't see what's taking place. They're unable to connect all the dots. Look at the UN logo. It's how showing the flat earth. It's 33 segments. The KKK. The reason they changed that C to a K, so you get 11, 11, 11, 33. They're behind it all. Every aspect of our society. The music industry, 311 is 33. Double sign. Own and control it all. The so-called truth speakers with Russell Brand, just another puppet in the game. 33 tattoo. Power outage during a past Super Bowl. Just happens to be 33 minutes. Their way of showing we own this place. We own it all. They own Hollywood. All the Masons that are planted in Hollywood, the music industry, showing who they're affiliated with. Little clues that people have no idea what this means. Another example, 33 with Justin Timberlake. Even sports, like I showed with the NFL, 33 cars with the Indy 500, and of course, the race ends with a checkered flag, which represents checkerboard of Freemasonry. And if you want to know who was behind the Twin Towers coming down, just look at the numbers. The construction for the Twin Towers, the groundbreaking was in 1968. Towers came down, of course, in 2001. Just so happens to be 33 years. The 9/11 emergency calling system went nationwide in 1968 as well. You see the connection with those behind it all. 33, all in plain sight.
When I was a corporate manager of Fairchild Industries in 1974 through 77, I met the late Dr. Werner von Braun in early 74. At that time, von Braun was dying of cancer, but he assured me that he would live a few more years in order to tell me about the game that was being played, that game being the effort to weaponize space, to control the Earth from space and space itself. Von Braun's purpose in life during the last years of his life, his dying years, was to educate the public and decision makers about why space-based weapons are a dumb, dangerous, destabilizing, too costly, unnecessary, unworkable, undesirable idea. The strategy that Werner von Braun taught me was that first the Russians are going to be considered to be the enemy. In fact, when I met him in 74, they were the enemy, the identified enemy. We were told that they had killer satellites. We were told that they were coming to get us and control us, the dirty commies, that whole story. First, the Russians were the enemy against whom we're going to build space-based weapons. Then terrorists would be identified, and that was soon to follow. We heard a lot about terrorism. Then we were going to identify third world country crazies. We now call them nations of concern. But he said that would be the third enemy against whom we would be needing to build space-based weapons. And the next enemy was asteroids. Now at this point, he kind of chuckled the first time he said it. Asteroids, against asteroids we're going to build space-based weapons. So it was funny then. And the funniest one of all was against what he called aliens, extraterrestrials. That would be the final card. And over and over and over, during the 4 years that I knew him and was giving his speeches for him, he would bring up that last card. And remember, Carol, the last card is the alien card. We're going to have to build space-based weapons against aliens. And all of it, he said, is a lie. He didn't mention a timeline, but he said that it was going to be speeding up faster than anybody could possibly imagine. That the effort to put weapons in space was not only based on a lie, but would accelerate past the point of people even understanding it until it was already up there and too late.
And I began a program of research to find out if extraterrestrials were real. What I discovered was amazing. What I discovered, ladies and gentlemen, is that there has been a plan in existence since about 1917, and probably before that, to create an artificial extraterrestrial threat to this Earth in order to create a one-world totalitarian socialist government. Experiments have been proposed to test the credibility of an out-of-our-world invasion threat. And it continues on another page. Nevertheless, an effective political substitute for war would require alternate enemies, some of which might seem equally far-fetched in the context of the current war system. It may be, for instance, that gross pollution of the environment can eventually replace the possibility of mass destruction by nuclear weapons as the principal substitute for war. Are you beginning to get the message, folks?
Well, it may sound odd, but a team of researchers at Penn State University explored this scenario, among others, in a recently published study that examined whether extraterrestrial contact would benefit or harm humanity.
If they're that advanced they can reach the Earth from a distant star, they are already thousands of years ahead of us in technology. And we would present no military challenge to such an advanced civilization.
If we discovered that space aliens were planning to attack, and we needed a massive buildup to counter the space alien threat, and really inflation and budget deficits took secondary place to that. This slump would be over in 18 months.
What will happen to the Earth? Well, we're not sure. Well, what will the other people do to Earth if we don't take care of Earth? That's the bigger question postulated at Penn State amongst NASA scientists and their colleagues.
This is deep, right? I mean, so aliens are keeping their eye on the planet Earth and seeing the destruction of the atmosphere, and that perhaps may open the door to aliens to destroy Earth. And again, yeah, these are scientists loosely affiliated with NASA, who came up with different scenarios for what if we had contact with aliens. They just divide them up in different categories to say it's not likely, but it could open the door for aliens.
And they put hidden symbols in plain sight, and the masses, they're clueless to all this stuff. They have no idea. They think it's all random and just by chance, and it's not the case. Everything in our society is built around them. They control the politics, the media, TV shows, movies, even down to video games. And one of the most popular games for the 2600 was Space Invaders. And that's setting up the fake alien invasion. They're planting a seed in the minds. And Reagan talked about it. He talked about the potential of an alien invasion uniting the world. And this is part of programming You know, getting kids, you know, millions and millions of kids to adults, you know, they're programming them. You know, it's called predictive programming or revelation of the method.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Just in the last 2 years, more than 20 planets have been identified outside our solar system that seem to be far enough away from their suns and dense enough that they might be able to support some form of life. So it makes it increasingly less likely that we're alone.
Oh, you're trying to give me a hint that there are aliens.
No, I'm trying to tell you I don't know.
Oh.
But if we were visited someday, I wouldn't be surprised. I just hope that it's not like Independence Day.
Yeah, right.
That it's a conflict.
Well, now we have
The only way to unite this incredibly divided world of ours. They're out there. We better think of how all the differences among people on Earth would seem small if we felt threatened by a space invader. That's by a space invader. That's by a space invader. That's
Out here we entertain ourselves at home, so we got an Atari video game. There's so many different games to play. We especially like Space Invaders. Zapping those little devils from outer space. Zapping those little devils from outer space. It's fun, but personally I think the whole idea of creatures from outer space is a little far-fetched.
To wherever they have the files about Area 51 and
the aliens won't let it happen. You reveal all their secrets. They exercise strict control over us.
Now, you know, there are a lot of people that are going to examine your facial expressions here, every twitch, everything, and say, and of course, so did you look? Did you see? Did you explore?
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in, and he did check, and there was nothing.
Well, you know, that's what we're instructed to say.
What do you have? The game Defender, with the same thing, with the same concept, with the alien invasion, with these, you can see in the cover of this game cartridge, with this woman looking over as these aliens are invading.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
This is an older video I had on my channel from a few years back. You're going to see a lot of quotes from ufologists basically stating the truth, that these so-called aliens are nothing more than demons that always have been on Earth. We live under a firmament. Deep space does not exist. Everything is within the firmament. So when they talk about planets, they talk about UFOs, they talk about deep space, there's nothing there. It's emptiness. We're given false meanings for everything. When you have someone like David Icke talk about reptilians, he's basically talking about demons and those so-called leaders that are of the bloodline of the fallen angels. So mixing truth with lies and twisting truth is all we get from the disinfo agents.
Everything that I'd owned for this. There's always room in life for this. Oh baby, then it fell apart, it fell apart. Oh baby, then it fell apart, it fell apart. Oh baby, then it fell apart, it fell apart. Oh baby, like it always does, always does. Street sounds have told me, they held me down every night. I didn't have much to say, I didn't give up the light. I closed my eyes and closed myself and closed my world and never opened up to anything that could get me at all. I had to close down everything, I had to close down my mind. Too many things have caught me, too much could make me blind. I've seen so much in so many places, so many heartaches, so many faces, so many dirty things you couldn't even believe I would stand